Dawntrail has been out for almost 1 week now, and the rush to get crafters and gatherers leveled is now in full swing. Today I want to show you different ways of leveling your Disciples of Hand and Land from level 90 to 100, while hopefully saving you time and gil. My methods are a little bit different from other guides out there, which primarily use collectables as well as Levequests. These two methods are great if you are pressed for time and want to dip your toes into the market as soon as possible, but the downside is that they require items that are locked behind bicolor gemstones that are usually acquired from fate farming. So this makes them either time intensive to acquire or expensive to purchase from the market board. Aside from that, I feel like most players don't really need to level their crafters and gatherers quickly at this point anyways, because the biggest profits to be had are already gone by all the people who skipped the MSQ and had everything leveled the second day. Instead, I would recommend a more hands-off approach that will get you there in about 2 weeks time of lazy crafting and turn-ins. This will not only be better for your balance sheet, but your sanity as well, probably. Before you start, you want to make sure that you have a level 90 set at item level 620 for all of your jobs. This can either be a crafted set from Endwalker or a purple Scrip set purchased from the Scrip exchange. If you're confused about what Scrips are, I'll put a link in the description. The best way of farming these if you need a set right now is using custom deliveries, which I'll also link below, but we'll talk about them a little bit later on as well. So let's get into the method that I'll personally use to level most of my jobs, and it's really not that difficult. My favorite way of leveling them is using Grand Company turn-ins. That includes every single crafter as well as botanist and miner, excluding Fisher. These Grand Company turn-ins require you to craft or gather items for half a level or more worth of experience per crafter per day. If you want to see which items are required right now, you can click on your timers page down here and then on your mission allowances. This is a list of the different items that you can turn in at your Grand Company, and you can access it from everywhere. We can use this to our advantage to collect all of the materials that we need to make these crafts. Everything except for a few select materials on some of the items can be gathered by the player. However, I decided to simply buy these off the market board once a day. So my typical workflow goes something like this. Open the item list from the timers, the market board, and also my crafting window. From here I can right click on the items inside of my timers list and select search by crafting method, which is gonna bring up the materials that I need to get. From here I right click the materials and copy paste this into the market board, where I just buy whatever I need. I usually spend between 50 to 100,000 gil on all items per day, which if you do this 15 times, taking an average of 75,000 gil per day, will come out to just above 1 million gil for leveling everything, if you even need that many turn-ins. So right around 1 million gil is how much this method is going to cost you if you buy everything off the market board. This is still a bargain in comparison to collectables and Levequests, and I think that the disparity between the two options is just going to grow as the weeks go on. A lot of the materials needed for the Grand Company turn-ins will decrease in price much more rapidly than the collectible as well as Levequest items. One thing you do want to be aware of when you use this method is that some players like to make a quick buck by buying all of the single items on the market board and putting them back up in huge stacks at a big markup. If you see that, try to just world hop and find different offers somewhere else. But using this method, you'll be able to level your crafters in right around 2 weeks. However, this is not the only method you should be using, because you should combine this with the new Wachumeqimeqi Quests, which you can find in Tuliyollal. There will be an NPC in the harbor over here, which will unlock a bunch of quest givers. These will have quests every few levels, allowing you to create or gather simple collectibles for another half a level worth of experience per quest. Think of this kind of like role quests with actual good experience rewards. So make sure you grab these whenever you hit the level breakpoints required. For botanists and miners, you can speed things along a little bit more by farming unspoiled timed nodes. These nodes are only available for a few minutes at a time, and you can see whether they are up or not using the website I'll link below, called FFXIV Gathering, that I've been using for a long time now. What I did here while leveling was simply set up timers for the level 93 nodes Mountain Flax and Raw Dark Amber, and I just farmed them whenever I wasn't in a duty. However, I would put this off until two things have happened. First of all, you'll want to unlock flying in these respective zones. And second of all, you'll want to have the collectible appraiser in solution 9 unlocked, because otherwise you won't be able to turn these items in anyways. Once you reach one of these nodes, the basic rotation is very simple. I'll give you a quick rundown in this video, but there is a little bit more to it than that, but you can find a lot of the rotations that you'll need online. Basically, your goal is to get the collectability either to 1000 or, barring that, as high up as you can. To raise your collectability, you'll want to use Scrutiny followed by Scour or Meticulous actions. For me, while leveling, that usually meant using Scrutiny and Scour twice, and then either a Meticulous action on its own or Scrutiny followed by a Meticulous. At this point, you should be capped out on collectability, and you should then use H's Words for botanists or Solid Reason for miners, both do the same thing, if you still have the GP available for it. This has a chance to proc another ability called Wise to the World, and both of the abilities will basically increase the integrity of the node, allowing you to farm more items. At this point, you can collect whatever you can, and then turn in the collectibles for a really good amount of experience, as well as purple scripts. Fishers should basically ignore all of the methods above, and instead just go use ocean fishing. If you haven't unlocked this feature yet, you can find it in Limsa, but basically will abuse the fact that large fish give massive amounts of experience. Using the ability Patience 2, we can turn every single catch into a large fish. So by keeping Patience 2 always running and then using the Precision hook set and Powerful hook set to catch the fish, we are always getting experience bonuses for every single one of them. This, in combination with a survival manual from the Scrip vendors or a squadron survival manual from your adventurer squadron, will give you multiple levels worth of experience from every single ocean fishing trip. The additional benefit here is the great amount of purple scripts that you'll get along the way, which we'll need later on. And that's actually how easy it is for Fisher. There's nothing else to do. If you want to make some gil along the way, we can take advantage of the fact that many other crafters are trying to spam collectibles and leaves to level quickly, and are actually willing to overspend on items. So look at what items are needed for their collectible crafts and provide them on the market board. You'll make more gil this way than by leveling everything quickly. Should you still want to use collectibles and leaves for farming, I'd recommend that you gather as many of the materials as you can on your own, and maybe do some fate farming throughout the zones to get bicolor gemstones. While more time intensive than what I explained earlier, this will let you cap your drops in just a few days, and it shouldn't break the bank if you spend a lot of time diligently farming. Once you're max level, you'll either want to buy a crafted set or make it yourself if you want to make high-end items such as raid food and gear. If you wish to craft your own gear or choose the budget option of sticking with scrip gear, you'll want to farm orange scrips. One way of getting these is by using custom deliveries. If you don't know about these, I'll link them below. But basically, they will provide you a ton of orange scripts every week, and they only take a few minutes of work. To figure out which one to do, you'll want to go into your timers and find the custom delivery NPC that offers a bonus for crafters. I would specifically recommend that you get your crafter scripts this way, because those are harder to come by. For gatherers, you can simply farm the highest level Unspoiled time nodes again. For this, just like with the purple scripts, I'm using this website right here, having marked the highest level nodes, the ones with the little star next to them, and simply turning in these items at solution 9 whenever possible. Your purple scripts should be used to buy the folklore books for gatherers, which you'll need to find certain materials later on. You can also find these at the Scrip exchanges. If you're about to cap on purple scripts, you can spend it on materia and sell that on the market board, or keep it for whenever you need a pentameld. It's also worth noting that we're going to get new master recipes soon, so you'll want to prepare a bunch of purple scripts and maybe even some purple script collectibles that you can turn in whenever the patch comes out, should you want to participate in the rush to craft endgame items. I hope at least one of you guys out there found this helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.